So again, the virtual the tracks are really just, if you can imagine a Hot Wheels playset in real life, that's really what these tracks are. So they have these big creatures trying to get you, besides the racers that are also trying to get you as well and beat you. We added an element of battling to it, done in a safe way. There's weapons, there's that strategy of, rock, paper, scissors, this weapon counteracts that. So it's more than just racing. You want to also use the strategy of the weapons in order to win the race. But it's done in a safe way. There's no death, mayhem, or destruction. It's all kind of done fun. There's several different ways to play. Before I get into the car customization, it's really cool. So there's several different ways to play. You can play multiplayer in real time. You're all online right now. Let's play. You can play asynchronously, so you can send a challenge to someone who has a different schedule than you. Say your dad is at CES and you want to challenge him. You send him your best time that you got. Dad comes home from CES or goes to his hotel room and he checks out. Okay, I'll beat that, and then he can race against his son. So it's kind of a good way to tap into people with different schedules. So you can also, if you're not ready to race real people,
Pop-out books from Loud Pro, Canadian publisher, and it's one of many of them. Tilt the iPad into the leads, respond accordingly as motion. How many people know about the elements? Well, they just came out with a new one. It's called Solar System. So I want to show you a virtual manipulative. Maybe I should turn the microphone
on. That would be a good idea. So this. Okay. Are you ready, Scott? Getting there? Okay, this is the solar system. Yeah, I just wanted to show you guys. So if you wanted to put the whole world at a child's hands, I could pull, pinch in, pull out, change the time scale. 1 year equals 1 second, to 1 second equals 1 second. And I can go right in to the sun. And on that note, there are the planets whirling around right now. And I speed up time, and I can help the child understand. I want to see it from the top. I just swipe down, pull out. There's the whole solar system. That is really cool. So it's the solar system. It's from Aline, the publisher of this again. Yeah, this is Max's new touch press.
I think it's Copernicus.
It just came out, and there's the menu. It's like the periodic table, but if you want to see okay. Now we're going to switch over. Why don't let's do 4 when I get this year. Let's do Scott, trailer. What's new in the virtual world, Scott?
Oh, well, more lots of things, actually. And thank you so much for having me here today. And I just would like to say special thanks to Robin Raskin.
By the way, Scott is president of 360 Kid, and he's one of the guys who studies statistics, knows a whole lot about this space. He's been in it as a producer of it. He studies it. He's taught at Harvard. He's a really wonderful resource in the children's interactive space. And what do we have in the front row here? Oh, is it virtual? Is that
That's tangible.
That is so cool. Everyone feeling a little stressed right now? I don't know. I don't want to say pet the puppy. There's a puppy up here, a real live puppy dog here, and I just think it's so wonderful to have something so analog. And on that note, yeah, that's so cool. Oh, God, I miss my dog. So anyway, Scott.
Thank you very much, Warren. And I wanted to just say thanks so much for Robin Raskin and her help in believing in the content I have to share with everyone who is looking to make great product in the children's space. So when Robin reached out to me about this show, she said, hey, could you tell us what has changed in the virtual world space over the course of the last year? And there actually is quite a lot to share, but I thought I would tell this short story. When I was 11, all I wanted was a computer. And we're talking about the TRS-80 days and recording data on tape. Just the other day, my 11-year-old daughter came up to me and said, Daddy, I'd really like a server. and I said, hold on, honey, I'm having a moment, thank you. So it was a wonderful thing, and what prompted that was her interest in virtual worlds, being able to run her own virtual world on her own machine, and being able to invite very specific people to her virtual world. That specific world is Minecraft. If you haven't seen it, it's a real mover right now. It's I call it the digital equivalent in virtual world space as MIT Scratch or even Legos. It's a fabulous product that's moving very fast. As one example of something that has changed over the last year. But I also have some numbers to share. First of all, since last year, the tools for those making virtual worlds have changed quite a bit. They're trying to automate the virtual world development process. Some of the big players, Electrotank and GoToPlay, even a European company called Dubit, they're trying to simplify a lot of the tools so that you can go to market faster, which would fuel the fire for having way more virtual worlds. Today, K0 claims about 300 virtual worlds, which I find to be about right globally. Okay, thank you. And K0 says within 2 years' time, we'll have about 800 virtual worlds, and I see these changes in tools will help fire that. That doesn't mean all of them will succeed. So let's take a look at some numbers. Now, I'm going to just unplug my video for a moment because I have to call up some very hard-fought and developed numbers to refer to. Aside from running 360 Kit, I'm also a consultant in the virtual world space. So, in terms of just pure uniques, if I follow lots of virtual worlds. I follow specifically virtual worlds for 3 to 12-year-olds. Last year, in the virtual world space, there were of the 94 different worlds that I followed in 3 to 12 last year. They had about 23 million uniques across all of them. This year, for the same age demographic, there are about 30 million uniques, or an increase in visits of 30% to virtual worlds for 3 to 12-year-olds over the last year. Last year, in the top 10 commanded almost 70% of all traffic. And again, this is just uniques. This is not registered users. This year, the top 10 only command 62%. Why is that? There's a bit of a slide there. Well, there are many more virtual worlds. This year I'm counting about 106 for 3 to 12-year-olds. That's 12 additional worlds. And what's